I said it's turning out so that I get a good news.
Yeah.
Leave it now,
What I know.
Lady.
We're just checking our posture. So relax the shoulders. We might get a couple more sneaking in later, but that's okay. So you want your head to float up, the chin tucked in, and then as the head floats up, the weight sinks down. And we just breathe in and out. So relax. It's very relaxing that. I really like it. So we're just relaxing the arms, just opening in the So yeah, for the Monday class, it varies as to what we're doing, and it was more getting that calmness thing. But now we've done that, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not ever the same every week. So it's just
As a new person, she probably wanted more instruction rather than do this sort of thing.
Yeah. But she'll be fine if she keeps
It's
sticking
nice.
at it. Eventually, it will. Yeah, because the problem is, especially at the beginning, if you're too prescriptive with the instruction, it can actually get in the way of people getting it. Because it's a bit like playing cello. So right, while I'm gas bagging, let's just go forwards and back. So we're going to work on our balance. So what you do is you get to that point just before the heel's about to rise off the floor, and then you just breathe in a bit, and then it's the same when you go back. Oh, it's lovely morning here, isn't it marvellous? Fantastic. Yeah, Burwell, their boiler's gone at the sports hall. So I had to go back to my car and I had to get 2 jumpers and my hat and my scarf just in case. I just put one of the jumpers on. Because the other problem is I had to wash my t-shirt last night, and although I put it in the dryer afterwards, it was still a bit damp. So I had this wet and boom. And I thought I'll be all right because it's usually nice with Burwell. Oops. So
Tai Chi is not cold.
yeah, yeah.
You don't have to be hot.
No, you shouldn't. But that said, you shouldn't be too hot either when you're doing Tai Chi. You've got to be just right. So forwards and back. So the problem is if you give instructions, then they'll think the instruction is what's actually happening. And actually, the way you do Tai Chi is by doing it so many times, your body knows what to do and corrects itself. So you can actually get in the way of. It's like learning an instrument. So I had the pleasure of playing 2 handmade cellos, because the one I've got is a factory produced thing. Because one of my friends, who's a sculptor and woodworker, said, I've got a couple of old bonkers pals of mine who've both made a cello each, and they've both made a bow each, and they need someone to play them, and one of them needs to go on a long-term loan to someone they trust. So I thought I'd volunteer you to go and meet my crazy friends, and I did, and they were both bonkers, but they were both very nice and really intelligent, and they both made these amazing cellos, and then we go in one side to the other. And they were saying it was a similar thing to Tai Chi. That's why it struck me so much. They were talking about you get given these instructions and they have templates, but at the same time it's an art. So if you spend too much time working on technique and things, you can actually miss. So they, one of them that had more time, he could go into the workshop more. He took 4 years to make his cello.
Wow.
And the one that I eventually borrowed, I've got to sign a bit of paper on Friday and I'm going to get this amazing. I might bring it in and say, here, check out this amazing cello. Oh my goodness. It was lovely because the one I got is a factory produced thing. And it's good for what it is. But this, even one that's not being played, it was made in 2000, it's only been played a couple of times.
Right.
And he said, no, it really needs to be played. So he lends it to people who think might put it to good use. And it's a bit like when someone adopts a donkey, they've got to write and send. So now we're going round and round. So it's a bit like when, so if I record with it, I'll send them the recordings and just let them know every now and then how it's doing. Things like that. It's like,
There's a potter
yeah.
who's changed. Well, very.
Yeah.
He's now making violins.
Fantastic.
Big girl now.
Fantastic. I highly approve of things like that, but it's not like there is science involved in the instrument making, but there's also art, and you've got to make it your own. And it's the same with the Tai Chi. So there's certain principles that are the same, but it's not like learning doing keep fit or anything like that that's very straightforward. Do that with your arms. I mean, it's not like that at all. You have to find it for yourself. So I demonstrate, but it's like learning a tune by ear. You can't really explain it, really.
Julian Webber came to school and played
Oh, the cello? The
Yes.
cellist. Oh, he's very good. Okay, go in the other direction.
class of 6-year-olds.
Oh,
And they
I did
absolutely stood there.
Yeah, it's the brother. Yeah.
In
Mesmerised.
mesmerised.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the brother of Andrew.
So
And
nice.
he's a wonderful cellist.
He is, actually. I know people get a bit snooty about it, but I think he's good.
But you should have seen him in a class of 6-year-olds.
Oh. Was he nice to them?
He was magnificent.
Oh, there you go. So now what we'll do is just add a little bit of the hip. I'll come a bit closer because this is brand new, fresh from Grandmaster Chen Wang, this one. And he kind of does that. Like he's doing very slow belly dancing. So when he did it, his shoulders were completely still. And it was all, but when he did it, it was like a really tiny movement. So what I'm doing is a crude approximation. He was doing this amazing thing, really small movement. And then the other thing he said is watch the line between the shoulder and the hip. So you're getting, and he said you're removing the interference. So there's probably a Chinese word that makes a lot more sense if you could speak Chinese. But the idea is you're releasing all the interference in the body so movement can just flow through. There you go.
I saw the huge menu that did in cathedral.
Yeah.
But he did like a little penguin.
Yeah.
Right down there.
Yeah. But you want to lengthen, so there's this upward feeling and a downward feeling. So there's a nice stretch along as well. Yeah, we're still doing circles. We're doing circles, but with the extra hip bit.
Belly dancing.
The belly, like very slow belly dancing. I mean, when he did it, it was so subtle you couldn't quite see what was going on. So what I did is I had to put in my brain like a magnifying glass and just make it bigger, and then eventually it gets smaller, but you've got to start somewhere. And you want to relax everything else. So it's very relaxed. And we go in the other direction. And when we're breathing, very good. So, yeah, it is very good for the back. Keep breathing some more. Marvellous. So, fantastic. Okay. Let's do this one. So the way Master, yes, the way Master Chen does it is the way Master Chen does it is he does it very tiny. He does the tiny movement. So he's like this. Just show you from the diagonal view. And we just. So I do actually have a new computer, but because I only got it yesterday, I'm still learning how to work it.
It's the same, but it's an Apple.
No, it's an HP, an HP Source computer.
So it's a PC, yeah,
It's
so
a P,
completely different.
PC, but luckily the computer I had before the Apple, it was an Apple, but my friend who was a student of mine, who's when I used to teach in St Ives, and he basically gave me his old Apple MacBook from 2008, and it still actually works. But he set it up as a PC with Windows in, so the shell was an Apple, but it was Windows. So actually, it wasn't that much different because I forgot that I could speak both
But
languages.
the one that you've been using recently, that's
Was
purely
Apple,
that was
purely Apple, yeah, and actually, I'm going to take it to the Clever Club people and things, see what they reckon about getting a, because there was one of the same one what I've got for 150 quid.
Yeah.
That's refurbished. And I just need to stick my, because the hard drive you can take out.
Yeah.
So I just have to take it out there and go, and then I'll have my computer back. And then I've got two.
Spare, yeah.
Then I've got a spare. While I'm saving up for a spanky one.
So it's not the hard drive that's gone. What's the problem?
Okay,
It makes it
now
seem
Christine explained it. She said it's a motherboard, which is a bit like your head gasket of a car. And also all the pipes have corroded. And I said, I understood that. So we just do this. And then you can just hit.
Yeah.
Well, you
Apple.
can keep them going a very long time. I mean, I do know there was a guy who's still got his Apple from 2012 and it's still going. And the one I've got from 2008 still works, it's just very old. Yeah, the heels, I'll show you from the back though. So I'll just. Yeah, it goes. There we go. So this is one of Emma's, Emma Scuba. Not seen for a while. That's great. Okay, we just. Oh. Nice to see some blue sky, but it's weird, isn't it? Because the sun's out and the sky's blue, but it's not warm. How's that work?
So it's March, come back to normal.
Yeah, because on Sunday, I almost put my shorts
Almost. It's going to rain this afternoon anyway.
on. Oh dear, I'm going the other direction. So it looks like,
Wow.
judging by the kitchen, it looks as though the choir's coming today. So we will need to leave the chairs and that table out. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go, normally I get the piano out, but I'm not going to be able to this time because I've actually got a Zoom meeting straight after half. Yeah, we've changed arms. Sorry, change arms if you haven't already, so I've got to get better at that. So we just, now when you're doing the arm, don't just pay attention to the shoulder, pay attention to the whole of the body and how it's been affected by the arm. Because I've been picking the brains of my new osteopath, and my cello teacher's also an Alexander teacher, so they have to learn about the body as well. And then go in the other direction, yeah, but the same shoulder. And the muscles and bones and things are connected by this thing called the myofascial network. It's basically like train tracks around the body, but it's like cling film. She said, imagine it's like And we go like this, so it just bird opens and closes its wing. So it's like cling film all around the body. So if you get a tight bit on one end, it'll actually affect the whole body. And what Tai Chi does, it actually works through your myofascial network.
Stretches the cling film.
It stretches the cling film about, yeah. And if there's a bunched up bit of cling film, yeah, you'll have to excuse the analogy. I could explain the science, but I'm just getting it wrong. So it's like if the cling film gets bunched up, then you stretch it in other bits of the. That's why when you're doing any exercise, you're paying attention to the whole, the bit that you're doing, and then just expand your awareness outwards. Yeah. It's very, and the other problem with Tai Chi, we just bounce in bliss. Oh, and then just rub your hands together and just give your back a nice rub. Be very nice. Think kind and lovely thoughts. So
While bouncing.
while bouncing, yeah.
Well,
You can bounce fast, or you can slow bounce.
Or very slow.
That's the so, yeah, because I gave my Alexander teacher something to think about last night. I went to see her, and they do a lot of lengthening in Alexander, and they look at how you move, but it's newer than Tai Chi, so. And she was saying, oh yeah, you've got to move slowly. I said, well actually in Tai Chi you do move slowly, but eventually we move fast as well. And the trick is to keep that connection and alignment and relaxation, whether you're moving fast or slow. So then we can do the same, we'll have a little go at that, because it's something. So you can do the slow movements. Mean it's a bit like if I'm playing cello, I'll do long bows. I'll just do long bows for ages and just do that and get the feeling. And then you do fast bows, because actually the speed will change it, but it's keeping that quietness, keeping that relaxation. So that's why it's good to do fast bounce and slow bounce. Let's go back to this one, just to see if that feels any different. So this is like a kind of how am I driving thing. So you're and it's like the back muscles are kind of melting. So it's very subtle, and then because of the subtlety, and also because you're working it from the inside out, so you're almost doing it on a microcellular level, because you're actually looking at the deep connections in the body, rather than the big gross. You've got gross movements, but there's all sorts of stuff inside going on. The progress is very slow. It's very similar to for people that. There we go. Let's do this one. Turtle comes in and out of it. So you can do it just with the arms, or you can also do it with the lower back, the back, spine, health. And like with the meditation, you can't physically feel much different, really. It's only with time that you think, oh, hang on a minute. Like on Monday, one of the people that came said, oh, my daughter came and said to me, she was behind me when I was walking down the stairs, and she could see that my balance was better and I was moving better. So a lot of people will maybe start Tai Chi and then quit because they think, well, this isn't doing me any good, I can't feel anything. And the answer is yes, you can't. Because eventually you can feel the difference, but you've got to give it enough time to actually train your body in how to sense what's going on. So we do not have that in our culture. They do in places like India, Indonesia, anything that does dancing, China, Japan. They're taught how to feel what's going on in their bodies as they're moving it. And it's part of the culture. But in this culture, we had Descartes, the guy who did the kind of separating the mind and the body.
Oh, a French
Yes.
philosopher.
A French philosopher, yeah, and Western science, it's more on those principles, what I've been told. I could be talking complete nonsense, but this is what I heard. Breathing in. So we're a bit more compartmentalised and split things. So we like split physical health and mental health as if they're separate things. And we're not looking at things holistically. We are now, actually. There's been a lot more, now with people with mental health, they give them all sorts of things like exercise and physio, and then people with long-term condition, they look at their mental health. It's a lot more joined up. That's it. So your scapula, we're just going down the back. Oh, nice.
They did a recent survey with people who had lost their ability to move.
Yeah.
And they had like a set group. One group was just given some exercises to do, stuff like that. And the others were told what they're going to do, and they had to imagine.
Yeah.
And the ones that imagined they were doing it got better than the people that were just lifted.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which was
they've got,
amazing, even though they weren't moving.
Yeah.
They were just thinking it through.
so you're visualising, by using visualisation, that can help with the movement. So in the Tai Chi classics, the Chi is following the mind, and then the body follows the Chi. So the energy is following the mind. So the mind is directing what you're doing. It gets very, yeah. So it's kind of like if you did Keep Fit to music with philosophy and medicine and meditation at the same time. That's Tai Chi.
Which people don't.
So that's why it's,
People do keep fit thinking it's mental health.
yeah. But nowadays it's not. They've changed it. They've really changed their approach. So we're just doing open and close. Open close. So just open the chest, elbows, wrists, fingers open, chest, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers closed. So we're just feeling that open close. And it's you're moving from stillness, so it's like this really quiet, still place. Getting that alignment, it's like maintaining focus. It's the same as having when you're boxing, having a guard up at all points. It's just this. Let's go up a little bit higher. So what I'm doing is I'm just rocking forwards and back, just to, again, what's that doing? That's stimulating the sensory receptors in my feet.
To forward when you go down.
Yeah, you can try it the other way around actually. You can have a play. You can have a play if you want. In fact, and do opposite force. Do the opposite force, but it's I'm just keeping it straightforward. So now I'm going up to head height. And then it's like a nice stretch. Oh. Nice. Go back lower. And then each time just get slightly quieter and smaller movement. So it's like yeah, like that thing that we did on Monday with Tara Brack, when the first one she does, you breathe in, you breathe out, and just let the thoughts go as if they're just clouds clearing, and then leaving the blue sky behind. That'd be nice. So it's like you've always got the clear spot and this quiet, rooted, centered place that you're moving from. And very good. Well, so I think those. Let's just do some sort of, so just go like this, breathe in, breathe out. Actually, that's the way, that's the second form. The first form, it comes up, I'll come a bit closer. So what they were doing for the larger is they come up like this, and then it rotates and comes down. At least they were last year. They might have changed it again. These things develop. So we just come up, and it's just little, and then if you look, it's like, what's it called? The larger, the old frame. So this is the beginning of the old frame. The new frame starts slightly different because I did both. I'm doing the review. I'm spending a whole day reviewing the old form, which is about maybe coming up to 400 years old now, I should think, 350. And then the new form is only about 150 years old. So it's brand new.
And the Alexander technique was like 50 years old?
Yeah, well, a bit longer than that. It was maybe the 1920s. It was about the same time as the Feldenkrais people, and then the osteopaths and chiropractors. They all seemed to spontaneously reinvent the wheel at the same time. So, and then the Pilates lot came after, and I think the Feldenkrais came a bit later, but they were developed from all that stuff.
I think pilots. 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And Feldenkrais, I think, was a similar thing. And then you've got the Kalinetics.
Oh, that was more recent.
Yeah, well, it's
Calisthenics.
calisthenics. I can't pronounce it.
Kalinetics. Alan Country, wasn't it?
There was the ones that do the body weight. That's the calisthenics, is it?
Calisthenics is like.
Oh,
Using
that's
your body
okay.
weight
It's
and
not that
action.
one. It's the one that uses body weight and they do lots of press ups and handstands and planks. Yeah, but they use a lot of body weight and they use a lot of stretching and sort of yoga. That. I think that was developed quite early, but then they went out of fashion. It's come back into fashion in big time because they're fine because of the COVID and people couldn't get to the gym. They were then using their own body weight, and actually that works really. You know, handstand press ups and things like that. I mean, yeah, but really good stretching as well. So it's not just the strength; you have to stretch and get the mobility going through the joints, which is where Tai Chi is very handy as well. So done that one, done that one. Let's just go back to this turning. And just keep it. So.
Favourite exercise when I wait for the kettle to boil.
Yeah, it's good for waiting. It's good for waiting for kettles to boil. It's good at the bus stop. It's my favourite bus stop. It's one of my favourite train platform exercises.
What keeps you warm?
And I like, you can do the bigger, let's try the bigger one. So there's that one. You see, now when I do this, it feels kind of crude. I'm just doing this one. Or this one, actually. We've not done this one for a while. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when you hit yourself, it feels like, why are you?
Yeah, well, no, it's more circulation of bone strength, actually, the tapping, that helps your bones. So there's that one. But because I've been practicing the tiny turning, I now can feel why it's good.
Yeah.
But,
Especially warm, isn't it?
and then try tiny turning slow, and then try tiny turning fast. It was completely different. It's completely different, and then slow again. Yeah. Very good. Okay, we'll do this one. Turn. So it's the same time turning that we've just been practicing as a thing. See? So then you're connecting. So when you do the tiny turning, you're connecting the arms to the turn. It's the same thing. You're connecting the arms to the turn, except you're just doing other things with them. So try a bit faster.
Speed was never my important.
just for fun, just for an experiment. It's basically, as well as being what I said before, fitness with mindfulness, with philosophy, with medical science, you're also doing it as an experiment. It's an experiment. So because it's an experiment, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong and we don't get the move right, because we are experimenting, we're exploring movement. We are like, yeah, we're explorers. So it's okay to find things out and then try it super duper slow. So now try it. And, oh. So, to show you from the diagonal, turn and open, open, close, turn, open, and it's nice and warm here. It's like being cuddled, isn't it? I love it. Great. I had a
Just need a cup of tea.
yeah, I mean, I was looking at those kettles and the teacups quite lonely, really, but there you go. I mean. Yeah, how are we getting on with this? How are you finding the different? Let's do one more time, once more. That's what marvellous. Have a little shake out. So that's quite. Oh, I can really feel my legs. It's amazing. All we were doing was standing there, but we've worked these leg muscles. And if you work your leg muscles, it's good. It pulls on the bone, so it does your bone density. Brilliant. We like bone density, so yeah, that's another thing that they. Let's just sway from side to side. We'll just do a bit of the bear as well. Then. I'll look it up again because it had the stepping, but I can't quite. It was that he did that, didn't he? So he stepped that way. There's that one, and then he comes forward. Was it like that? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he came back. I can't quite remember it. I'll look it up. It's on the internet. And then it was like that. And then you come back, and then something like that. I can't quite remember, but it was those sorts of movements, and very heavy thud. You know, it's like a real. Yeah. All right. I'll put that on my mental to-do list. Relearn the animals. So it's called 8 Animal Frolics.
Oh,
The 8 Animal Frolics. So it's translated from Chinese. So it's not. So yeah, they had the monkey where you had to sort of do like that, and then there was the deer, and then there's the bear, and the turtle. There's a turtle, and I think there might be a horse as well. There's 8 of them. There might be a snake. I'm not sure, but they have shapes, and there's the deer was they had a thing where you'd have the deer horns. And I'll look it up. I mean, it's online. I'd much rather learn it off of a person, though. So I might learn it off a person. Do the animal because they're really good. They're an ancient. They're like a very old folk song. So like the 8 strands of the brocade, which is thousands of years old. The 8 Animal Frolics is also thousands of years old. So it's worth finding. It's almost like a historical, like a museum piece, but it's still relevant today because they still work. And make me feel really good. So we've done that one, we've done that one. Let's do this one. So we go down, we transfer. Yes. So try and get the fingers forward. Forward. Yeah, like this. And then it comes down. So it goes up to the middle. So if we just do one on, the fingers are always pointing forwards. Fingers are always pointing forwards. Down, so palm up, palm out to the side. Palm up. We won't do the weight shift yet, let's just get the arms. Palm up. That's it. And keep the shoulder down. Keep the shoulder down, that's it. And it's like a U shape, it makes like a U. And then we'll do the other side. So start here, and just nice relax. See, up, down, up, and you can transfer the weight, transfer the weight, transfer the weight, transfer that, and stick the other hand in, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. And then it's quite close in, quite close in. So this is like a barrier, and that is coming up. And then what you can do is you can transfer, go to cat stance. So we'll just do the feet on their own, otherwise it's too much of the brain. We're not overloading the brain, we're being kite, heel toe, transfer, cat stance. And you, and get your hips level. So that was what the Grandmaster Chen was talking about, getting the line. I mean, it's more than that, but that's a way in to what he was talking about. So it's not, that's not the be all and end all. And then you can, oops, a daisy. Oops. You can breathe. So just get the, so this is shoulder height, actually. So it's maybe slightly higher, maybe, yeah, a little bit higher. Not as high as that, it's kind of about here, sort of around maybe cheek height. So you're not. Oh, sorry, I snuck that in. So just for the progression, I'll just show you that from the side view. So you're keeping it in line. So when you lift the leg, you want to lift it so there's a line. Ah, nice. Very good. Very good. That one, that if you do it bigger, then it becomes white snake spits out tongue, which is why I just love the name. You just spit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you go white snake spits out tongue. It's just like, and it's got more of a it's got more of a snap to it because there's a turn. And it's quite, and there's just like you're ringing something out. So it's, but that's a bit. This is more civilized. This one. Good shot. And we just go back to you, Lee. It's because the sideways step is very good for balance. So I've gone back to the big one. I'm just doing the big one. Oh wow! Oh gosh, that's gone fast. We've done a lot. Baby turning, and we didn't do wobbling. We'll have a look at wobbling because that's kind of relevant to what we're looking at as well. So we're just wobbling. So. Yeah, the kind of unhurriedness. So you've got to be not in a hurry, you're unhurried, and also you're trying to be very clear about what you're doing, very accurate, and getting it right as well. But not so hung up on getting it right that you get upset when you get it completely wrong. So it's about the relaxation, calming the mind. That's first and foremost the most important thing. And then when you find you can't do something, like for example, I can tell this stuff's working because I got a parking ticket because I spilled over onto the double yellows because and I had to go to a gig, and instead of having taking time to find somewhere to park that was legal, I went, oh, well, there's a space there, and then it was dark. And then when I came back to the car, I went, oh, I'm in the double yellow, oh dear, I'm in the double yellows. And then I went to the front of the car, there was this very discreet, on biodegradable paper no less, Cambridge City Council, let's do this, a parking ticket saying you can park illegally, therefore you've got to pay this, and if you pay it within a certain, chop it by half. And for the first time ever, I went, oh, all right then. Oh, what nice paper, it's really good. And I thought, hang on a minute, I have not reacted at all. I'm really relaxed. What? Oh. So, which I was very happy about. And then I cheered up in the board. And they were right. I was in there, and that's why I paid that. No problem. And I was like, this is good, because if it had been 5 years ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, I'd have been very angry. And actually, the relief at not having to be angry about something was a really good one. So this stuff really works. It's really good.
You just know where not to park there.
Yeah, and it's like, that's all right.
You
Next
can't
time
get
I have to
caught
play-
out.
Well, next time I have to play in that pub, I'll just go park where the kebab van goes,
Get there really.
on that bit. Well, the problem is it's parking in Cambridge is a nightmare. And because I had someone with me that could walk too far, I had to be mindful of that person. I don't think it was being a bit of a where
Get them to give you the disabled sticker.
yeah, or drop them off, or get in early, drop them off, and then go and find somewhere. So I worked it out, and it was all fine. But it was just so nice not to have to get angry and spend all that effort getting upset and annoyed about things. Yeah, it's because
It's almost a t-shirt, isn't it?
in Tai
Life's
Chi,
too short, they get grumpy.
yeah. So we'll just do this one now. We'll do number two. And one of the meditation teachers was saying anger's like a hot coal. So both of you get burnt if you chuck the hot coal. Don't hold on to anger because it's like holding an arm. You know, I mean, you can feel, you can't, your emotions are your emotions. It's like the weather, but you don't have to.
Make it work.
Like what they say in Tai Chi, it's like you're by the bank of the river, you're not in the river. So you're just observing what's going on without getting too, yeah. I mean, that said though, sometimes, especially when I was training with the bigwigs, you can end up getting these really very powerful feelings of anger or sadness and things. And then you just keep moving, and then eventually they pass and think, phew, thank goodness that's over. And it's very interesting, because a lot of your muscle tension has got emotional tension, got emotions in it, maybe some history there, so it can be, yeah. So like when you're doing the things like the happy phoenix and happy walking and things, that's working your liver meridian, which is to do with happy and also to do with anger, which is like the negative. If it's blocked, you get anger. And if you try the other direction. So we're just relaxing and we're just noticing how we're moving and trying to get this very accurate. Very good. So it's soft, smooth, and slow. And then it's soft, smooth, and slow. And then it was something like nimble, bounce and shake, or agile bounce and shake. Something like that. I'll ask Deborah. She knows all. And you've got to be able to do all those things at the same time. So I'm not sure. So in a long-winded way, oh my goodness, very long-winded way. We're just going to practice Wave hands like clowns. So, oh yeah, let's get ourselves nice and tall first. Yeah, I wasn't quite lengthening enough. And then you go in the other direction. Ooh. So just have a go. We'll break it down in a bit. We just see what you. We need traffic lights, don't we? Oh, we'll get some traffic lights next time. And then go, whee! We've got no crashing, no crashing. At least those of you on Zoom, you're not going to crash into anybody, but furniture maybe, yeah. Just watch out for the furniture, don't damage it. And then we'll go in the middle, stay in the middle. But, so it's like this. So it's silk reading number 1, but with both hands. So this is working your cognitive function. It's improving your cognitive function because it's confusing the brain, but in a nice way. And because it's improving your cognitive function, it's also improving your balance, even if you're doing it wrong. Brilliant. So none of you are doing it wrong because your brain's happy. It's making your brain very, oh, this is challenging. Oh, how nice. It's a bit like the cello that I had a go, and it hadn't been played for 10 years. And as soon as I started playing it, it just started going almost, it was, you could, the guy who made it goes, oh, look, she's delighted. And I was like, oh, good. Oh, what's her name? Viola. And I thought, that's hilarious, calling the cello viola, because I'm also a viola player. So I might, if I get a viola made, I might call it cello.
Yes.
No, violas are flowers, aren't they? But violas are stringy, woody things that nobody wants to play really.
It's like a violin but bigger.
It's like a violin but bigger and with a lot more jokes. There's a lot of viola jokes.
Yeah, they're
They were like third violin, so they get all the boring stuff to play. But they're usually very short in orchestras. They're always definitely viola players. So they even had me in, and I can't even read music. I'd have to learn it by ear. There we are, marvellous. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry if you hear crunches and pops and things. That's normal. That is a normal part of getting wiser. It just you need to move, and even though there's crunching and popping and things, the mobility is key. Actually, they finally came round to being sensible, the clinical exercise guys, and having mobile joints and mobile spines and things. I mean, if you've got things in the spine that means you can't move them, that they're talking about general people, but having mobility is really, more important than things like the strength of cardio, being able to balance. If you can move well, then that will enhance all the strength and cardio and balance and stuff like that. So they were really, and they're saying if you can do your mobility exercises in bed. So before you go to sleep, lie in bed, do your mobility, wake up in the morning, have some stretching, and then just do your shoulders, do a little bit of hip things, and stretch a bit in bed, and stretch your legs out in bed. And when you've actually got out of bed, it helps reduce if you get any aches in the morning. Just move. I mean, it's what cats and dogs do. Before they go to sleep, they wiggle around, and then as they wake up, they stretch and wiggle around. They're not stupid. So that's what humans need to do. Rather than wake up and then go on your phone and get all scrunched up even more before you've got out of bed. That's silly. So it's all about all about mobility. Okay, let's do this one. We'll stick with the wave hands like clouds. We'll just do it like this first, and then hang on a minute, we'll do a little. So what you can do is you can turn it into walking forwards and back. So you step heel toe. So it's just marvellous. That's it. Very good, everybody. And then don't forget backwards. So toe, heel, transfer the weight, draw the foot in. Up. And remember, we're nimble and agile. I think it's nimble, agile, bounce and shake, soft, smooth and slow. Something like that. I'll ask Emma, she'll tell me what of them. The problem is she's so relaxing to learn off. You forget what she's saying because you're in this like blissed out, relaxed, sort of happy place. She's just great. You know, even when she's whinging at me or something, you know, you just go, oh, I'm being moaned at. Oh. There we go. That's it. And then what you can do is you can just randomise it. And turn it into a health dance. You can go forward, forward, forward. Hello. Hello. This will be stopping in 5 minutes. And then we can just go backwards. No, you can go backwards and we just go forward, you can move around, you can spin. You can do your up.
Need some music there.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, we need an orchestra in here. Or a string quartet, that'll do. That'll do, yeah. So I might bring my cello next week. Just come and check out this. So anyway, I met these very nice people, and they showed me they had a bow each. Excellent. Welcome back. They had a is that? That's it. They had a bow that they made as well, and there was this kind of very slight but soft rivalry between them. So when I played both cellos, I of course said, well, they're both unique, and I can't tell which one I like best, because they've both got, and also because none of them have been played enough, you can't actually tell which one's better. That would be in a few years' time. But there was one bow I preferred because it had a bit more heaviness in it, and I play some quite, you know, vicious, tough stuff. And then there was this very subtle and light and more like a straight sword bow. And then I very politely said, well, the light bow, that would be really good for very subtle effects. So they're both very well made, and they're both men with a, and I thought, great, and I managed to not upset. Yeah, I managed to please both of them. Because they were going, oh, well, we're not in competition. And I thought, oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that one before. So we just do that side to side. And no, they were both excellent, but on Monday I will be picking up the older one and basically having it on a long-term loan, complete with swanky bow. So the cello's worth about, they said, between 5 and 10 grand. That's nice. I mean, it's not as expensive as some that there was one that I played that was 20 grand. And he said, oh, you could pay for it in instalments. I said, you'd have died. So, I've got a friend who's recording her she's recording a folk album, and I said, here, look, I've got some gorgeous strings to put on it now. So, yeah. But it's very like Tai Chi making cellos, because there's the art and the science, and you have to have the clarity, and you have to have the precision, but you also have to have the creativity. And both of them had that in buckets, so it was really good, very, very nice.
Got cool.
So that was, and then we do this one, breathe in, breathe out. How we do them. So yeah, Tai Chi is an art and a science. And a philosophy, and lots of things. Breathe in, down. And exercise. And meditation. Oh, that's much better. You're all moving really well. It's good. I like it when it works. One more time. And everybody improves. It's just you can't always tell because it's so slow. I rub the hand together and punching the face. So sorry, I've got to rush off without doing anything today, but I've actually got a meeting.
So you can get out.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice, look at that. Let's get nice and tall and get on. So you're looking forwards, you're listening behind. So that's the whole of the behind. That's it. Here we go again. So tall through the body. Nice and calm. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Just a very nice way of saying calm down, I think. Possibly calm down and be quiet, something like that. And that's great. Just stand nice and tall, so we're only expanding in all directions. Relaxing, muscles soft, upward feeling in the bones, make a fist with the right hand, left hand over the top, feet together, and back. Well done. That was display team quality. Complete with the Chinese music ensemble. So, I mean, this was really good. That was a good
Thank
one.
you.
There. Yeah. Good, really good.
Bye.
Right, let's go and have a cup of tea. Excellent. Bye. Bye.
See you later.